Every believer has one ultimate hope, to be loved by Allah. We live in this world searching for approval, longing for people to notice us, to appreciate us, to show us love. Yet all human love is fragile and temporary. It fades, it shifts, it disappears with time. But the love of Allah is unlike any other. It is eternal, unconditional when sought sincerely, and it brings a peace that nothing else can give. Imagine being loved by the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Imagine being chosen by Him for His mercy, His protection, His blessings in this life, and His reward in the next. There can be no greater honor, no higher goal, no greater success than to be counted among those whom Allah loves. But the question is, who are these people? What qualities do they have that make them so beloved to their Lord? The beauty of our religion is that Allah has made it clear. Through the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, we are shown the paths that lead to his love. Among them, 6 qualities stand out, 6 traits that every one of us can work to build in our lives. These are not qualities reserved for scholars or saints. They are for all of us, ordinary people, who long to be close to Allah. The first quality is sincerity. Allah loves those whose hearts are pure in intention, who do what they do only for Him. In a world where everything is displayed, where people constantly seek attention and validation, sincerity is rare. But sincerity is what elevates even the smallest act into something monumental in the sight of Allah. A smile given sincerely for His sake, a hidden prayer in the night, a coin given in charity without telling anyone, all of these can outweigh grand gestures done to impress others. The one who is sincere does not care about being seen, only about being accepted by Allah. When you are sincere, you find peace in knowing that even if the world does not notice your effort, Allah does. The second quality is patience. Life will test you, sometimes with hardship, sometimes with ease, sometimes with loss, sometimes with blessings, but Allah loves those who are patient in all circumstances. Patience is not just about waiting. It is about enduring with dignity, without complaint against Allah. It is about trusting that there is wisdom in every decree, even when you cannot see it. It is about staying firm in worship when life is easy, and staying firm in trust when life is hard. Patience is holding your tongue when you are angry, holding your heart when it wants to despair, and holding on to faith when the storm rages around you. Patience is not weakness, it is strength. It is the quality of those Allah loves most dearly because it reflects reliance on Him. The third quality is gratitude. Allah loves those who are grateful for His blessings. Gratitude is not just saying thank you with the tongue. It is living in a way that shows appreciation. It is using your health in service to Allah, your wealth to help others, your time to remember Him, and your skills to bring benefit. Gratitude means looking at what you have instead of focusing on what you lack. It means seeing every sunrise as a gift, every breath as a blessing, every challenge as an opportunity to grow. Those who are grateful never live in bitterness. They radiate positivity because they see Allah's mercy in everything. Gratitude brings barakah, increases blessings, and most importantly, it makes you beloved to Allah. The fourth quality is humility. Allah loves those who are humble, who do not see themselves above others, who do not let pride poison their hearts. Humility does not mean putting yourself down or denying your gifts. It means recognizing that whatever you have is from Allah, and it could be taken in an instant. It means treating people with respect regardless of their status. The Prophet was the greatest human being, yet he lived with simplicity, serving others, and never making anyone feel small. Humility makes you approachable, softens your heart, and removes arrogance, the very disease that destroyed Shaitan. The humble person lifts others instead of looking down on them, and in doing so, earns the love of Allah. The fifth quality is generosity. Allah loves those who give, whether in wealth, in time, in kindness, or in forgiveness. To be generous is to reflect the mercy of Allah in your own dealings. Generosity is not measured by how much you give, but by how willing your heart is to give. The poor person who shares a small meal may be more generous than the wealthy person who gives a fortune reluctantly. Generosity also means giving people excuses, forgiving their mistakes, and showing mercy when you have the power to punish. The generous person understands that nothing they give is ever lost, for Allah replaces it with something far greater. To be generous is to trust that you will never lose by giving, because the one who loves generosity is the one who provides without limit. The sixth quality is justice. Allah loves those who are fair in all matters, who do not allow bias, anger, or personal interest to corrupt their judgment. Justice is not just for leaders or judges, it is for every believer. It is in how you treat your family, your co-workers, your neighbors, even strangers. Justice means being fair even when it is against yourself. It means standing up for truth even when it costs you. Justice is protecting the rights of others, giving people what they deserve, and refusing to oppress in any form. In a world full of injustice, to be someone who lives by fairness is to carry the light of the Prophet. It is a quality that makes you beloved to Allah because it reflects His own perfection in justice. These six qualities, sincerity, patience, gratitude, humility, generosity, and justice, are the path to Allah's love. They are not qualities you acquire overnight. They require effort, reflection, and constant renewal, but every small step you take towards them is a step towards Allah. And when Allah loves you, He guides your heart, protects you from harm, places light on your face, makes the angels pray for you, and grants you peace in this life and eternal happiness in the next. So ask yourself, what would it mean to be loved by Allah? What would it mean to walk through life knowing that the Creator is pleased with you? What would it mean to die knowing that you will meet Him as one of His beloved? The path is open, the door is wide. These six qualities are not beyond any of us. They are within reach, if only we commit to them with sincerity. Let us purify our intentions and seek only His approval. Let us train our hearts to endure with patience and shine with gratitude. Let us walk with humility, give with generosity, and stand with justice. If we can do this, even imperfectly, even stumbling along the way, we can hope to be among those who are loved by Allah, and there is no success greater than that. When we reflect on what it truly means to be loved by Allah, one of the most beautiful and humbling truths is that His love is not tied to how much we impress other people. The world is quick to applaud loud actions, grand gestures, and achievements that catch attention, but Allah looks beyond appearances. His gaze goes straight to the sincerity within the heart. What may look small in the eyes of people can be immense in the sight of the Creator. A simple act, done purely for Him without seeking praise or recognition, can outweigh the biggest of deeds done for show. That is the secret of sincerity. It transforms something ordinary into something extraordinary in the scale of Allah. Think of the moments that no one else sees. When you put a coin quietly into the hand of someone in need without broadcasting it, when you lower your voice so that no one knows you are reciting a prayer, when you forgive someone without announcing it to prove your greatness, those moments are precious beyond measure. They are hidden from the eyes of people, but never hidden from the one who matters most. In fact, it is often those hidden deeds that Allah loves the most, because they prove that you are not seeking validation from creation, but longing only for the pleasure of the Creator. Sometimes people ask, but how do I know if Allah loves me? How do I draw nearer to His love? The answer is not always in grand projects, nor is it in doing something that earns worldly admiration. It is in turning to Allah with a sincere heart. The servant who prays 2 units of prayer quietly before dawn when the world is asleep may find that this hidden act makes them beloved to Allah more than the person who leads crowds but seeks recognition. The believer who chooses to smile at someone, offer kindness, or help carry a burden without expecting thanks, might find those small acts more weighty than the big actions that were shared and applauded publicly. The Prophet taught us that Allah loves those who are humble, those who give without expecting return, those who forgive without keeping a grudge, those who remember Him in silence, and those whose faith is steady even when no one is watching. This shows us that Allah's love is not reserved for scholars or leaders only. It is available to every believer who acts with sincerity. Even if you feel unknown, unnoticed, or insignificant in the eyes of people, know that Allah notices you. He sees the struggle it took to hold your tongue instead of arguing, the patience it took to endure hardship without complaint, the courage it took to repent after a mistake. Each of these moments may be small in the world's view, but in His eyes they shine brightly. And sincerity does not only apply to worship, it applies to every area of life. When you work honestly even when no one is supervising, when you study with the intention of benefiting others rather than just earning status, when you speak kindly to your parents or your children, when you choose honesty over convenience, these are all ways of showing Allah that your heart is connected to Him. Every step you take for His sake is a sign of sincerity, and sincerity is the bridge to His love. The beauty of this teaching is that it removes the pressure to constantly seek the approval of people. You no longer have to compare yourself to what others are doing, or feel that your worship is small because it is not visible to others. You realize that what matters most is whether your intention is pure. The smallest act, when done with the right heart, is better than the largest deed with a corrupted intention. This is why many scholars would say that sincerity is the foundation of all good. Without it, the action may look beautiful on the outside, but is empty inside. With it, the action may look tiny on the outside, but is vast and glorious in the sight of Allah. When you remind yourself of this, it changes the way you see your daily life. No moment is wasted because every small act can be transformed into a source of reward and love from Allah if your intention is there. A mother feeding her child with patience can be earning Allah's love. A worker earning halal income to support their family with honesty can be earning Allah's love. A young person lowering their gaze out of respect for Allah can be earning His love. Each moment becomes an opportunity, not because of its size, but because of its sincerity. And sincerity also protects you from disappointment. If you do something good for people and they don't appreciate it, you will not feel bitter, because you were not doing it for them anyway. If you are sincere, their praise or criticism does not affect your value, because your worth is tied to how Allah sees you. That is why those who are sincere live lighter lives. They are not weighed down by the endless need for approval. They walk with quiet confidence, knowing that Allah is watching, and that is enough. So if you ever feel small, if you feel like your acts of worship are not grand compared to others, remember this truth. Allah does not measure you by size, but by sincerity. A single tear shed out of love and fear of Him can be more beloved than volumes of words spoken for fame. A hidden good deed, known only to you and Him, can outweigh what the world celebrates. Never underestimate the power of sincerity, and never think that your quiet, unseen efforts go unnoticed. They are written, they are cherished, and they may be the very reason you are counted among those whom Allah loves. This is the beauty of our faith. The path to Allah's love is open to everyone, not just the strong, the wealthy, or the famous. It is open to the one who turns to Him with a pure heart, who does even the smallest deed out of love for Him. That is why the Prophet's advice was so practical and so full of hope. It reminded us that Allah's love is not beyond reach. It is right there, waiting for anyone who chooses sincerity over show, intention over attention, and humility over pride. The more you live this way, the more peace you will find, because when you are sincere with Allah, you no longer fear losing the love of people. When you are sincere with Allah, you know that every act, no matter how hidden, is seen and appreciated. And when you are sincere with Allah, you walk this life with the quiet but powerful assurance that you are loved by the one whose love matters most. Every single person will face hardship in this life, and no one is spared from trials. For some, the difficulties come in the form of health struggles. For others, they come in the form of financial stress, broken relationships, or the weight of loss and grief. The natural human reaction is to wonder, why me? Why is this happening? Is this a punishment? But the perspective of faith is different. Faith transforms the way we view hardship. Instead of seeing trials as evidence of abandonment, the believer learns to see them as opportunities for elevation. Every test becomes a chance to rise closer to Allah, to show patience, to strengthen faith, and to earn His love. Patience is not weakness. Many people misunderstand it as simply sitting back and doing nothing, but in reality, patience is one of the greatest acts of strength a believer can show. It is courage in the face of pain. It is steadiness when the world feels unstable. It is choosing trust when doubt is pulling at your heart. And this is why Allah loves those who are patient. When everything in your life seems to fall apart, but you still hold firmly to Him, you are proving that your faith is not conditional on comfort or ease. It is rooted in loyalty to the One who sustains you no matter what. There are moments in life when the weight feels unbearable. You feel like you are at your breaking point, and yet, in that very moment, when you turn back to Allah instead of away from Him, you are writing your story as one of His beloved servants. Those moments when your heart aches, when tears fall quietly at night, when you raise your hands even though you don't know what to say, those are the moments when you are closest to Him. The love of Allah is not distant. It surrounds those who are hurting yet still trusting, those who are tested yet still holding on, those who are tired yet still trying. Think of the people who are patient. They do not live free from pain, but they carry their pain differently. Their trust gives them strength. They know that what is happening to them is not random. They know that there is wisdom behind every closed door, even if they cannot yet see it. They know that Allah does not allow pain without purpose, and so their patience becomes more than endurance. It becomes a declaration of faith. It is a way of saying, I trust you even when I don't understand. I believe in you even when I cannot see the outcome. I know you love me even when I feel alone. That level of trust makes them beloved to Allah. Patience also teaches us humility. When life is easy, we can fall into the illusion that we are in control. We think our plans, our strength, and our abilities are enough. But when hardship hits, we are reminded that we are not in control, and that realization is a gift. It breaks the ego and makes space for reliance on Allah. It reminds us that we are servants, not masters. It reminds us that we are needy, and He is the one who provides. And when a person accepts this reality with patience, they are raised to a level of closeness and love that they could not have reached without the trial. Patience is also not only about waiting for hardship to pass, it is about how you wait. Two people can go through the same trial, but one may sink into bitterness and resentment, while the other may use it as fuel to turn to Allah more. The situation is the same, but the response makes all the difference. The believer chooses patience because patience is an act of worship. It is not simply enduring. It is enduring with faith, with trust, with hope in Allah's reward. And that patience beautifies the soul and makes it worthy of Allah's love. One of the most comforting truths in Islam is that patience is never wasted. Every tear, every sigh, every night spent in worry, every moment you held back from complaining unjustly, all of it is seen by Allah. He does not let patience go unrewarded. In fact, patience is so beloved that its reward is often described as beyond measure. That means no number can capture the value of your patience in His sight. This is why patience is not just survival, it is investment. Every moment of patience is a step toward His love, His mercy, and His eternal reward, and patience comes in many forms. There is patience in staying away from what is forbidden, even when temptation is strong. There is patience in obeying Allah, even when it feels difficult or inconvenient. And there is patience in accepting what happens in life, even when it is painful. In all of these forms, patience is about holding firmly to your faith, not letting go of Allah when it would be easy to do so. Each type of patience proves your loyalty to Him, and each type draws you nearer to His love. When you start to see patience this way, you begin to view trials differently. Instead of asking, why me? You begin to ask, what does Allah want to teach me through this? How can I grow closer to Him through this? How can I prove my love and trust in Him through this? That shift in perspective changes everything. Suddenly, the hardship is no longer meaningless, it becomes meaningful. The pain is no longer just pain, it becomes purpose. The struggle is no longer just struggle, it becomes a path to being loved by Allah. And this is why some of the most beloved people to Allah are those who went through immense trials but never lost faith. Their patience was their shield, their trust was their strength, and their faith was their comfort. They became people who were loved not because they lived easy lives, but because they remained steady in difficult ones. Their stories remind us that Allah's love is not proven in the absence of hardship, but in the presence of patience. So if you find yourself in hardship right now, know that you are not abandoned. You are not being punished without purpose. You are being given a chance to rise. Every time you choose patience instead of despair, trust instead of doubt, faith instead of anger, you are moving closer to the love of Allah. The one who created you sees your struggle, knows your pain, and cherishes your patience. And that patience may be the very key to unlocking His love for you. This is why patience is not passive. It is strength in disguise, it is courage in action, it is worship in practice. It is the quiet yet powerful way of saying, my heart belongs to Allah, no matter what life brings. And when you live with that kind of patience, you live with the assurance that you are deeply loved by Him, even in your most difficult moments.